All right, bang, bang. NFL right here, the wild card. We have been destroying the last 2 weeks. Every light up, cash, GPP single entry, GPP. Just make it rain. Dance for us, Bryce. Come on, do it. You were just doing it off camera.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I like your shirt. What does it say?
It says, I'm going to work on being less condescending. Condescending is when I talk down to you.
Oh, man. Dustin, thanks for the cash line, man. I think it could have won a couple GPPs last week.
Yeah, smashed out, man. I think we had our tight end kind of screwed us, but everybody else was just – whenever you see just a full row of fire symbols, you know you did something good. So,
especially in cash.
Right.
All right, so before we get into, look, the slate, Saturday, Sunday, 3 games each day, how are you going to attack this? Are you going to play the Saturday slate, Sunday slate, and then the combined slate? What do you think about some of the contests? Are you excited about it? Are you going to do anything different this week with it being a little bit different?
I mean, I think it's pretty tough. The slates, so the way DK has it, they have the Saturday slate, which is the featured games, and then they have the Sunday slate, which is the featured games, and then they have the 6 overall, but the contests in those aren't as good. And so obviously I'm going to play it, but the better contests are in the Saturday only and the Sunday only. So I'll probably be a little more heavier on those than the 6-game slate.
Same here. Agreed. Aye. All right, let's get to the Saturday slate for this video. Before we do, if you haven't, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all the socials, Facebook and Twitter, the DFS Dads. We give out free picks. We give out. We're thinking about some other things that we're gonna do, and we have something special coming on both the socials very soon. So definitely follow us there. If you want, join up at DFS Dads. We are on fire. Let's get to Saturday here. We have the 3 games. The first one with the highest total of 51, the Colts and the Bills. Let's start there. There's a 6.5-point spread. It looks like Jordan Wilkins, and with COVID, is in danger. He might miss the game, but he's not really been that involved in the offense. So let's start with the Bills and the Colts. What do you like, Price?
Obviously, I think everyone's going to look at the quarterbacks for this slate and click Josh Allen. I know the Colts aren't necessarily the easiest defense to go up against, but I mean, out of the 6 options, you really only have 5 because you know if Goff's going to play. Smith's been mediocre all year. And then there's no one in the right mind who's going to play Rivers. So it really comes down to the top 3 of Allen, Brady, Wilson, and Allen offers the highest upside. I mean, he's just their offense has been on fire. And I don't see how you don't play him, especially in a cash format. I feel like Allen's a must play.
And then also the other 2 games, which on the Saturday slate, the Rams and Seahawks, there's a 43 total, a 4-point spread, and the Bucks and Washington football team is a 45-point total right now. It's a little over an 8.5 spread, depending where you're looking at. So, I mean, also with the point total, it seems like Josh Allen's the way. I mean, Dustin, do you think want to put anybody else in your quarterback spot? Is Jared Goff going to play? I think that's an interesting topic there too.
I mean, as far as a cash play, I think Allen is the go-to just because of his mobility. So even if he gets shut down a little bit in the air, he'll be able to, he's always capable of rushing for, up to 100 yards and scoring a couple rushing touchdowns. My guy that I like the best next, and not even that much lower than Allen, is Brady. I mean, the dude's been on fire. Yeah, he's been DFS Dad's hot the past couple of weeks, and he gets Washington, which on paper, and I've said this all year, on paper, they look pretty good against the pass because of who they've played. Obviously, the division is very weak at quarterback. Wentz obviously got benched. Then you have, Daniel Jones in and out. And then you have the Red Rocket over there in Dallas, who, wasn't great most of the year. So as far as the division and even outside the division, they haven't played a lot of teams that chunk the rock. So I think Tom Brady is going to come in there. I know Evans is iffy, but he still has Godwin and Brown and playoff Gronk. So I love Brady in this spot to throw for 300 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So I think he's definitely viable. I'm not touching anybody else in this group. I don't care about Goff, even if he does play. Like, there's a reason he's that iffy. So
yeah,
those are the 2 guys I'm going with, and I'm sticking to
if Goff sits, I think Wolford is a good GPP play.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm gonna throw that out there because he's 4,900. He opens up the avenue to use some of the higher price people.
I agree with Fred. I think cash and even GPP, Josh Allen is the money play there. Russell Wilson, I think he scored 12 points and 19 points his 2 games versus the Rams, and so 6,600 is a good price for him. But late season hasn't been doing as good, and this defense knows Russ really well and has played well against him 2 different times this year. And so I would rather our GPP go down if Goff doesn't play, or go up to Josh Allen as well. Let's wrap the quarterbacks up and move on to the running back. Jonathan Taylor just went ham for us last week, and with Jordan Wilkins on with the whole COVID thing, what's your thoughts on Taylor and the rest of the running backs? Start with you, Price.
So I think there's really 4 guys to look at. It's Taylor, Akers, and then if you look at the game script and you think Buffalo's going to score a lot, Naheem Hines and J.D. McKissick. Because Hines and McKissick are going to catch a bunch of passes. Taylor, if they're going to be competitive, it's because he's running the ball down Buffalo's throat. And Akers sneakily came back from injury and had
he had 21
carries.
Yeah, 21 carries and 4 catches.
And so Seattle is pretty good against the run, but I mean, workhorse at 5,100 is hard to pass up, especially, he has a better matchup than Antonio Gibson, who's more expensive. Chris Carson, who that's going to be a tough matchup, and he's banged up, and Ronald Jones. You never know what's going to happen with him and Fournette. So that'd be the route I'm looking at on this.
Yeah, I think I'm all in on Jonathan Taylor in pretty much any format. I will be playing him 100%. Obviously, barring the shoulder injury, which they're saying is nothing serious. So I think Ronald Jones is a bit intriguing, just because Fournette been a healthy scratch a few times. If Ronald Jones, he got the bulk of the carries last week. I think it's 12-5, but they had a big lead at the end too. So I think Ronald Jones you can take a flyer on in GPP because he's pretty good at catching the ball as well. So I don't mind him. I love Cam Akers. I'll be real heavy on him and Taylor. He's going to get all the carries, especially if Goff is out. He's just going to get fed. But even if Goff is in, it'll open it up a little bit more for him, I think, because with Wolford in there, they stack the box. And then I like J.D. McKissick. I think they're going to be down. We talk about game flow, game theory. I think Tampa Bay is going to score on them, so I like McKissick on the comeback, with check down king Alex Smith.
I am with y'all on McKissick. He has 10 targets, and 8 targets the last 3 games. Dustin's right. They are going to be down. Gibson's also questionable. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but a little banged up there and playing from down. Anytime you can get a running back, let's say if he gets 10 targets at 4,800 on DraftKings, that's a win-win, especially on a small slate like we have here on Saturday with the 3 games. So I think we're all on board with the running backs. On wide receivers, Dustin, is your boy Diggs, how hurt is he from last game?
Yeah, I think he hurt his tooth flossing there on the sideline. I don't know if y'all saw that, but in the middle of the game, he was
flossing. Yeah,
sitting over there flossing.
Said you gotta have good hygiene, player.
Yeah, it's an oblique, so I think it'll be more, pain tolerance, which he's gonna play.
Yeah, I know you have Mike Evans questionable. There's a lot of
go ahead.
Is Mike Evans? Do you think? I think he can just honestly sit out this game with the way they're gonna they're going to play on offense.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't touch him just because I just don't know how. If you watched it, it looked bad. And obviously, somehow they have some optimism that he might play. But for me, I'm just not going to go that route, especially when you have a small slate like this. So I'll probably won't have any Evans unless something crazy comes out where he's 100%. But
that could be something to differentiate yourself in a GPP, like a one-off of playing Mike Evans if it looks like he's going to suit up with low ownership.
Even on one leg, he's a viable red zone threat, just how big he is. Yeah. But I like Antonio Brown, especially if Evans is limited. 6,100s really come on of late. Tom Brady loves him. Gave him 4 shovel passes there at the end to get him a bonus paycheck. So I really like that. I think McLaurin is a fine play on a run back. If he's healthy, it seems like everybody's banged up. Yeah. He was their obviously he's their number one option out there, so he's going to get the targets, the volume, and like I said, if they're trailing, then the volume's going to be up even more. I think Price is on this guy, but I'll let him kind of go over him. John Brown, I like. Coming off injury, looked really good last week. And I think
Cole Beasley's hurt too.
And Beasley's hurt.
Beasley's not going to play.
Okay.
So he's out.
Yeah. So Diggs hurt, Beasley out, John Brown
all day,
every day.
Yeah, and he's over the top guy, so he can hit big and hit hard. So Price, anybody you like that I don't?
So I think this is where I differentiate from y'all two. Is I do not think the Buccaneers will do well. I think I'm going to load up on the Washington defense. I don't think Brady's going to do well. Evans shouldn't play. I feel like their front four is going to destroy Tom Brady. So I don't want to target anyone in the game. If I did, it would be Antonio because he's going to be the quick guy to get open. The intriguing play, I think, instead of Mike Evans would be DK Metcalf. Metcalf has been locked down by Jalen Ramsey every game they've played. So it's not a very smart play. It's just strictly GPP. He should be very low owned, but he's such a good athlete and he's so big. Like he's due to pop off against Ramsey. Can't shut him down forever. No matter what, a good offense beats good defense most of the time. And so I just feel like he's going to be super low owned and in a great spot.
Yeah.
If Jared Goff plays, I love Cooper Kupp because that's his go-to guy. But if it's Warford, I don't want to touch any of the Rams receivers. But I love John Brown. John Brown was when I built my lineup, he was the first person I plugged in. I love John Brown. He went off all year until he got hurt. He averages like 6 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. And he's, 4,700?
You saw the thing where Chase Young called out Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't call.
You also saw the thing where Chase Young is a top 6 defensive end in his first year, right?
Well, that's fine. I mean, Tom Brady.
Bro, I don't give a shit.
Career.
I look at Tom Brady. Look at his stats for the year when he actually played a decent defense.
Well, I don't think Washington. I mean, obviously they have a decent front 7, but Tampa
they have 2 top 15 linebackers in the league, and they have 3 guys in their secondary here in the top 20.
And I understand that you're speaking stats, but I also dig a little deeper and see why those stats are like that. And
so you'll see Brady played shit defenses and ran his stats up too.
Washington's secondary ain't that good. Tampa only allows 1.4 sacks, which is 4th on the year, or 4th in the NFL.
So we also have completely different mindsets. If y'all haven't picked up on 18 weeks into this, Dustin is the super conservative cash player, and I'm going to attack everything that's a GPP and find leverage. This is where I'm going to find leverage this week.
I have to side with Price on this one. Why? Washington has a lot of Alabama players on the defense, so the debate's over.
Roll Tide roll.
On to tight ends. Logan
I will say
Thomas.
one cheap guy I like is Zach Pascal.
There we go. Look at you naming a Cole. I like it. I miss what's the guy who tore his ACL? Paris Campbell, man. That was
so
my
you
dude.
think Washington's going to beat Tampa?
No.
but I think it's going to be close and low scoring.
I have a perfect lineup here, but I need $100 more.
Always.
Like always. Hey, let's go on to Logan Thomas. All right. Logan Thomas has been making us some money.
Number 1 tight end.
Yeah. We're going back to Logan Thomas, and then Price doesn't like the Bucks, but Gronk's been spiking the ball lately in the end zone.
I'm good on Gronk. He's been
All right, well
spiking
then-
the end zone. What, 2 games in his last 8? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Logan Thomas or Everett. Not Everett, Higbee. Sorry. Those would be
You
the
don't
2.
even know who you're taking.
What about you, Dustin?
I mean, I think if Evans ends up not playing, I think you can take a flyer on Gronk. He's not going to get a ton of targets, but I think he could see 6 targets and for 80 yards and possibly a touchdown. So I like him as an option there. I mean, all the tight ends are fairly priced well. Logan Thomas obviously $1,000 more on DraftKings than the rest, which he's going to be the higher volume of all these guys. Obviously, the Rams tight ends kind of scare you depending on who's at quarterback, so you have to wait till basically lock for that because they've already said they're not saying who they're starting until 90 minutes before the game. Other than that, I mean, I don't really want to touch anybody, so I'll probably Gronk or Logan Thomas, and then
They're the 2 that make the most sense because they're the safest.
Yep. And if Goff plays, then I think I'll take a flyer on Higbee.
What about Dawson Knox price?
Oh, he's gotten so many targets.
He has targets, and also if you got Beasley's out, if Diggs is banged up, and let's say he kind of re-aggravates it, Brown and Knox to pair up with Josh Allen could be.
It would be a way to separate yourself from using Logan Thomas. That's for sure. And I mean, I think Knox he's probably the 3rd best play considering you don't know who the quarterback is. If Wolford's in, he probably is the 3rd best tight end.
Yeah.
Which is saying something. The guy barely, I think, let me look here.
Talking about Knox?
Yards. 51 yards is the most he's had all year.
Hey,
Knox is a stud.
Remember
from
last
Ole
year?
Miss.
It's going to pay off, and then we're going to say, I told you so.
I'm just saying, I mean, he
told
hasn't
you
had a great game all year long. It's not just
It's because he drops touchdowns.
You're slandering Knox like you slandered Judy last week.
I didn't slander
for Cat. I know. I'm just
That
messing.
was a good player.
All right. Let's move on. We don't need to get into the woods there of that conversation. Defense. Price. If he doesn't pick Washington, I don't believe he believes in his own theory that.
I'm all in on
everybody's gonna
Washington.
Facts. I am too. And they're a great price. They are grossly underpriced.
What is the Seattle Seahawks?
They're 300 more.
I don't care about the price. I care about the return.
What do you mean the return?
Wolford or a banged up Goff who has been terrible at times. I mean, completely.
Yeah.
Off. So I'm taking
that actually is not a bad point.
So we all have to stand and die on our own hill, and that's the one I'm taking this week on defense. Is I'm going all.
All right, Seattle versus Washington. We'll see who puts up more points. Put in the chat below. Who do you think is going to be the
if
best?
If it's Goff,
it'd
be Seattle. Personally, I think
Goff likes to throw picks.
Goff has a broken or fractured right thumb of his throwing hand. So if they throw him out there, looking at their numbers, Seattle, since they traded for Carlos Dunlap, has gotten more sacks.
Really good.
All right.
Look at this. Hold on. Look at the return on value here.
There we go.
3.6, 2.7, 4, 3, 3.5. We'll ignore the 1.7 from last week.
All I know is I rode the Washington team defense to beat your ass and get 7th place in our league. So I'm going to play them this week.
Hey, you still haven't paid me for my 2nd place finish there.
You never paid for the entry.
Why do I need to pay for entry when I know I'm going to be in the finals win high points? All right. The defending champ is out. Let's go make some money. I appreciate y'all support. If you watched to this far, smash the like button. Love y'all.
You're not
Love
the,
y'all.